Do you want to tap into all the joy, beauty, peace, and connection that your marriage is here to give you? To tap into the blessings that God put into your marriage. Join the Gula Wives Circle and receive extraordinary levels of support through our weekly classes, workshops, trainings, exclusive access to our book, all for $40 a month. Join this community of dedicated women who are here to show up in a way in their marriage that's powerful, who are dedicated to living the marriage of their dreams. Welcome, and I'm so excited to see you there.
This is a deep dive on beliefs. And I'm so excited to really just be in this space of focusing on our beliefs because we're believing things all the time, but to have the opportunity to actually think about our beliefs is just such a luxury. So thank you, Hashem, for the space. Thank you for all of you here. Before we get too into the content, I just want to share that this evening, or for me, morning for you guys, was inspired by my aunt, and I want to do something special for her shloshim. She passed away, my great aunt, but her shloshim was on Yom Kippur. So like, okay, that's special that she's so holy, but I'm not going to do a writing workshop on her shloshim. So this was a good opportunity. And she led probably thousands of writing workshops in her life. And she wrote a book called Rewrite Your Life. And she helped other people like write their stories and write their breakthroughs and write their dreams. And she definitely had more than her share of tests and challenges in life, and she wrote herself through them and beyond them and helped others through. So her name is Sivan Chaya Bas Yaakov Avraham. Yeah, and tonight is in her elevation of her neshama. I was like, what would give her more nachas ruach than us all having these breakthroughs and tapping into our beliefs, because she was such a powerhouse of positive thinking and writing. So we're going to do both of those together. So thank you for that opportunity. And so
Sivan Chaya Bas.
Sivan Chaya Bas Yaakov Avraham. Thanks. Yeah, and if anyone wants to check out her name was Junie Swadron. You can Google her. She's like prolific in her videos and her writing, and let's dive in. So our beliefs are very much our lens, meaning it's just the way we see the world. So a lot of times I think I'm just seeing things as the truth. That's just how it is. That's just what's happening here. But in truth, we're always filtering things through those belief systems. So raise your hand if you've ever experienced knowing something to be true. You know it's true and you're all upset about it and worked up. And then something shifts and you realize like, oh, that was a total misunderstanding. Anyone ever experienced that? Like all the time. and it's such a relief. And it's like, wait, how did it feel so true in that moment? Usually our beliefs are just constantly coloring our reality. And so we have a few names for this skill at Gula Wives. We like to think of it as, simply our belief systems. It's also our queen consciousness, like ability to really hold this queen-like vision for ourselves and others and our beliefs. And it's also our rose-colored glasses. The reason it's called rose-colored glasses is because I had a dear friend who literally walked around with glasses that were rose-colored. I'm like, that's the smartest thing I've ever seen. No matter what she sees, it's rosy pink. And like, that's the world she wanted to live in. And someone could say, oh, you're so naive, or you're so this, like the world isn't pink. But in her world, the world was pink because she walked around with rose-colored glasses. They're also heart-shaped. They're very fun. And we get to live in whatever world we want to live in. We can live in a world of gullus and like we're believing, okay, this is exile and like everything's feeding into that reality of like pain and victimhood and other stuff. Or we can literally choose to live in Gula, to live in a world of Hashgar Pratis and Hashem loves me and Hashem loves everyone, and seeing that reality and really seeing the evidence show up. And that's what's so cool about beliefs, is a little bit of like little tiny nugget of like the science of it, is that we have a reticular activating system, which is just a fun little way of saying that our mind is constantly collecting data. And some of you understand this more than I do, but our brains are constantly collecting data and it can't process everything. Even in the room right now, there's literally no stimulus in my room. It's like a white office, but yet my brain cannot even pick up all the data happening in one room. Our brains are constantly filtering things out because that would be overwhelming. So what gets filtered in and what gets filtered out? And how do I get on the executive board of my own consciousness, of what gets filtered in and filtered out. And that comes down to our beliefs. Whatever it is that I hold dear and I hold true and is important to me, that is what my mind is going to actively give me evidence for. It's going to keep on reaffirming that reality. So, does my husband care? Well, it depends what I believe. If I believe that he does, then those are just socks on the floor. If I believe that he does, and that's just him having 5 things on his plate, and that one thing I asked for him got dropped. And if I believe that he doesn't care, God forbid, well, then those socks mean war. It's a personal offense. And that thing that he forgot to do is just another proof that he doesn't care, right? It's just it's feeding into like different biases and different realities. And we see this reflected in the word chashuv, right? Chashuv is the word important, and it's connected to the word machshav, thoughts. Like whatever is important to us, that's what we're thinking about, whether consciously, subconsciously. And so one of the most powerful things that we can do, and I'm so grateful we're doing together, is to be able to actually take a moment to say, what are my beliefs? Because we get to choose them and we get to cultivate them and we get to nourish them and we get to actively look for that evidence and let our system know what it is I want to be affirmed. I want that affirmation for my husband's love. I want that affirmation of his care. I want to catch him being my hero. I want to catch him being a great guy. I don't want to catch him, telling me he'll be 1 minute and then he's on the phone and make a story about it. That's not the year I'm going to have. I want to catch him having that moment of like saying he's going to be 1 minute and then he's sending a text and then I realize, oh, he's sending that text for me because he's surprising me with something. Like that's the reality I'm tuning into. And so we're choosing Gula, and everyone, by showing up here, you're really choosing that. So thank you so much. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to in a minute, I'm just going to give you an overview of what we're going to do today. I'm going to post about 6 journal prompts in the chat, and I'm going to put on some music and we're going to write. And then what we're going to do is a little meditation just to open things up a little bit more. And then we're going to have an opportunity to write for a few more minutes because that will bring up some more stuff. And then we are going to go into takeaways and sharing, which is, part of the most meaningful part of writing workshop. And I'll turn off the recording for that, so everyone can just feel free to share. Okay, so just a little bit more thought about the chassidus of this. So Baruch Hashem, we've been working on the Gula Wives book for a few years now, Ronnie and I, and it's almost done. It's actually in one giant document, which is very exciting for the first time ever. And the first skill is this. It's Keter. This is where we start everything. It's our Keter. It's our crown. It's the first of the 10 spheros, and it's not even a sphera. It's beyond the sphera. It's our crown. And that's what we're doing today. We're decorating our crown. So how are beliefs connected to our crown?
This meeting is being recorded.
Oh, because our crown is connected to 3 main things. Pleasure, pretty important. Our will and our faith, our emunah. Right? Keter is where our emunah, our beliefs, are hanging out. And so that's why I can hold a belief and I don't even realize consciously I'm having that belief, because it's not really subconscious, it's more superconscious. It's hanging out in the crown. And so when we're able to actually be like, oh, I want to decorate my crown. What are the beliefs that I want to hold about myself, about Hashem, about my husband? Then what happens is that we hold that crown, and it almost, once we get into the habit of it, effortlessly trickles through to an entire system. So meaning one approach is bottom up. I'm going to make myself say good things and do good things. But I might be fighting against old beliefs. And this approach is working on our crown first, decorating that our consciousness, being aware of what those beliefs are, and therefore it just kind of flows, and I'm going to naturally, much more effortlessly say that kind of thing and do that kind of thing or respond according to that belief.
For those of us who are newer to Chassidus and the concept of Keter, so we're focusing on our Keter as like the space to embody the pleasure, the will, and the emunah. Like, so that is the intention, is the kavana on like the mind? Like how does that manifest?
It was so beautifully said the way you said it. And exactly. So we're focusing on what trickles into the mind. So we have our conscious mind, which is our Chachma, our Bina, and our Dat, right? Okay, that flash of intuition, that building of evidence, and that inner knowing. And all that happens so fast. And that's why we can have a case, right? I would have a whole case about how A plus B plus C equals, and my husband didn't think about me. But none of that's actually based in reality. It's based on something higher than that. That was in my catcher, there was this belief of looking for something, or of like, oh, he forgets about me sometimes, right? So therefore there was this room to form of this, oh, I see it happening again. Oh, and then that das of like, and getting like it trickles down to the chesed, the gevurah, we're getting emotional about it. Versus a different belief, which is, my husband's always looking out for me. In that belief system, I'd be able to see like my chachma, my being, my das, like my conscious mind would pick up on so many other things happening in that moment, where there isn't really so much room for that story to form. Or before I'd get emotional about it, aka would go to like chesed, gevurah, teferah, and go to the emotions, there'd kind of be this block of like, this doesn't feel like me, or this doesn't feel like him. I want to judge favorably. There's something else going on here. And so what we're working with is like, I guess in like psychology, like you call it like the subconscious. But the reason I want to call it like more like the super conscious is because our keter is higher than our conscious mind. And the one reason I keep saying like a trickle is because even though we have access to it, it feels subconscious. Like we're not always like, it's not like, where did that chachma just spark of insight come from? Like, I don't know. It's kind of this place of like ayin. It's this place of our keter is also how we connect to the higher worlds. Like it's basically like the interface between like our soul and God, if you will. Did that make it more confusing or help? Okay, good. We're just bringing it out a little bit more. But yeah, there's so much to say about this crown and this consciousness. And but what's really beautiful is like the innermost part of keter, which is pleasure. It's amazing because in Judaism sometimes we struggle so much about like pleasure, a good thing, a bad thing, like and it's just the idea of like no, like pleasure is like that interface between us and God. Like that is like the most pure place. So there's a lot more to explore about this. Okay, so I'm going to put on the music and I'm going to trickle the journal prompts in. I'll read them when I put a new one in, like one every 1 or 2 minutes. Pace yourself. Don't let me rush you. Like if you're still on a question, just enjoy it. You can always copy it from the chat after. Okay, here is the first question. What is one core positive belief that you have about Hashem, yourself, your husband? And if anything, what do all three have in common? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music, okay? Okay, awesome. Whoever's ready for the next question, I just put in the chat. Oh wait. The question is, what beliefs what beliefs do I currently hold about Hashem's role in my marriage and my relationships? And it's in the chat if you want to see it. Okay, the next the next question that I'm putting in the chat for whoever's ready is, sorry. What do you want to believe about your husband, but feel scared to? Take a leap and explore what current evidence gives weight to the belief. And it's kind of funny sometimes when we're talking about beliefs, like, oh, I could just create a belief. But what we're realizing here is that this place of Keter is a very interactive space with God. It's a real space of connecting and co-creating and creating the world that Hashem wants us to have. And this is just a place of writing and experimenting. So that's the question. What do you want to believe about your husband? Sometimes we feel like, oh, I would love to believe that, but that would be naive, or I don't have permission. Is there an echo? Or I don't have permission to believe that. So just in the space of writing, explore and see what comes up. And I think Esther just came on. Esther, I'm going to repost it in the chat. This is the current journal question. talk and keep the music going. Can you hear me? Someone give me a thumbs up.
I prefer no music when you're talking, personally.
Yeah, it's better if you turn it off.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that last question needs a lot of time, but just for some people want to keep it going. So if you're in the middle, keep going. And if you're ready for some more, here's the next question in the chat. And welcome to everyone who just joined. Reflect on a belief you hold about your husband that hurts. What would you have if you didn't need to believe that anymore? What do you feel that belief is giving you, and who would you get to be without it? Lightening things up here a bit. What is one of your favorite beliefs about your husband? And give 2 evidences that support it. And I know I keep using the word evidence today, and it's because it's the best. Whenever we want to lock in a new belief and we just find the evidence, we find the proof, even if it's like the size of a pea, it builds that muscle. If I can look for it, I can see it. It's not just something that's in Keter, it's just the truth and evident, and looking for it, it builds that muscle. So that question is in the chat for you. last journal prompt for now. What is one of your, I just thought of it now, so I'll write it after, but what is one of your favorite things that your husband believes about you? If I leave the music on low in the background, can you hear me clearly or is it not clear? It's okay? Okay, I want to keep us in this really thoughtful, meditative space because I can feel everyone's energy over Zoom and you guys are rocking it. Like everyone's in their zone. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read through some core beliefs that are like core Gula wives beliefs. And really what are they for me is just like the grounding space. Like I know if I am actively thinking this, believing this, seeing this, I'm in a place of alignment. And of course, everyone has their own Geula beliefs. This is just to spark your own or deepen what's already true for you. So this is going to be a little bit more meditative. And then as soon as we come out of this, you'll have another chance to just do some stream of consciousness writing to write out whatever comes up. So take a nice deep breath in. Breathing in this new month of Cheshvan. And taking a moment to close your eyes, get comfortable, and focus on your keter, which is your crown. And if you want to, if you're, are wearing your hair covering, just like tuning into the energy of like this literally is our keter, is our crown, or just like the space of like up here, like just honing in. It's a spiritual concept, but also it's manifest. And this idea that you are a queen, you get to decorate your crown. You get to design it however you like. These are your rubies, these are your gems, these are your diamonds. This is your inheritance. You get to decorate it with all the royalty that you like. So as we go through, so just keep on breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And I'm going to read first beliefs about us and Hashem. So core beliefs about Hashem. Taking a nice deep breath in. Hashem loves you. Hashem doesn't need me to suffer. Hashem wants me to be happy. I'm just breathing that one in, knowing that Hashem wants you to be happy. He does not need you to suffer. I'm going to read them in the personal because I just think it's more powerful. So just if you want to repeat it to yourself in your own inner mind, it'll be even more powerful. Hashem always gives me options to choose Geula, here and now. It's a belief, it's a prayer, it's an affirmation. Wiggling in, finding some room for how this is true for you in this moment. Hashem always gives me options to choose Geula, to choose connection, here and now. Hashem is present in my marriage and guides me every step of the way. Relaxing into this belief, noticing how there can be some resistance, and yet it still can feel so kind. It can feel so true. With a deeper knowing, Hashem is present in my marriage and guides me every step of the way. Relaxing a little bit deeper and going into our core beliefs about ourselves. I am not a problem-solving machine. I am a being of divine light, open to receive wisdom as it's available. Allowing your mind to soften, making space for this new gentle way of being. I'm allowed to enjoy life and receive pleasure, love, compliments, gifts, and praise. Taking a nice deep breath. My relationship with myself sets the tone and quality for all my relationships. Picturing yourself wearing those rose-colored glasses, just seeing your relationship with Hashem everywhere you go, seeing this relationship with yourself, bringing out all your light, seeing the good in every moment and every relationship, breathing into this sense of power. I hold the keys to redemption in my personal life for the whole world. Breathing in the sense of seeing yourself, someone who's powerful, someone who's cosmic. Feel the honor of this truth as you breathe it in. You are here for a purpose. I can stretch and grow with ease and grace, leaning to Hashem's arms whenever I need. Feeling held, feeling safe, feeling supported and seen. Moving into core beliefs about our husband. Taking a deep breath. Putting your hand on your heart if that helps. Hashem loves my husband. Repeating this for yourself in your own mind. Trust in Hashem's care for your beloved as you breathe in this belief. My husband wants me to be happy and desires to make me happy. This is a core foundational belief of all of our work at Google Lives. Our husbands want us to be happy. This itself opens new worlds. Opens new worlds to seeing all the evidence, to seeing how it's true, to lean into that kindness and that truth. Visualize your husband's face as he sees you happy, filled up, coming back from that fun girlfriend date with your friends or yoga class or just that self-care you took for yourself. Visualize your husband's face happy as he sees you filled up. Lean into this truth that he wants you to be happy. My husband is a giver. Recalling a moment where you've seen this giving nature, just seeing his desire to give in action. My husband chose me for a reason, and that reason is still present. Now, of course, Marriage is an essential choice beyond all the reasons we think, but there's still something very precious about being seen and chosen that we can always tap into. Reflecting on what brought you together and feeling that strength of your connection. How that initial spark is always there. Taking a nice deep breath. I chose my husband for a reason, and that reason is still present. It might have evolved. I'm sure we've all transformed and grown, and life's changed us. Hone in on that initial things that really you saw in him, and find that evidence of how it's still there. Breathing into the truth of your choice, feeling that peace, that certainty in your heart. Hashem brought me and my husband together for reasons far beyond my understanding. Feeling the gift of transcendence. And some core beliefs about our marriages. This marriage is meant to be. Breathing into that, divinely designed. This is a new moment in my marriage. In any given moment, I can choose to begin anew. Taking 3 nice deep breaths. And feel how you're decorating your crown with all the treasure house goods, the rubies, the diamonds, the pearls, the emeralds, taking all the best of the beliefs and wearing them, allowing yourself to luxuriate in them, to own them. And now we're going to go back in for another 2 minutes to just write out whatever is on the top of your mind, on top of your heart. Just give yourself that space to write, and we'll come back together in a minute. Giving another 30 seconds, just finish up whatever's still in your pen. Enjoying this experience of writing. Give yourself this gift of time. Okay, can you hear me okay with the music, or should I close it now? Thumbs up if you could hear it, thumbs down if we're closing the music. I'm just such a niggin junkie, it's so hard for me to turn off a good niggin. And so this writing workshop that we're in, this is, I mentioned at the beginning, is in memory and in Iloi Nishmas, my great aunt, Sivan Chaya Bas Yaakov Avraham, and who did so many, probably thousands of writing workshops. And I was privileged to experience one of her Zoom ones. And my favorite part was everyone sharing at the end. It was just so her. And so I'm so excited to open this up. And first of all, everyone just take a nice deep breath to just ground. I feel like we really went deep. And I want to be able to just have the expansive time to go into whoever wants to share your takeaway, to ask a question, share what came up. So before we do that, I just want to share a little bit about Gula Wives, because we have so many beautiful new faces on, and some of beautiful faces that we know very well. There's always new things happening around here, so I just want to give the opportunity to share what the latest is. And yeah, it's so great to be with you guys. So we are standing on Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan, and in Rosh Chodesh, 4 days after Rosh Chodesh Kislev, the 4th of Kislev, we are starting our next coach training. We have a beautiful group of women. We're about halfway full, and there's still more spots. So if being a marriage coach is something that in the slightest excites you, or is like, whoa, like me, or like, yes, me, like anywhere in between, would love to invite you to have an interview, to ask any questions, to learn what all of this is about. And I just know for me, the more I'm privileged to talk about shalom bias and be in this work and work on my beliefs and coach other women and be in this space, it all just nourishes me and personal gula and my home. And so if this work resonates with you, I'd love to invite you to be part of this training. And I'm excited for just the training itself and everything it will bring. So I'll just, everyone registered through the website, so you can be in touch through there if you have any questions, and we can schedule time. And the other thing I just want to share is the latest is the Understanding Men course. Some of you are on, like in the beginning of the summer. So the Understanding Men course is recorded and stunning, and it's up on the website in the course section. If you haven't taken the Understanding Men course, for me, this is the goods. This is like the life-changing turn of this. It was a great group. We had so much fun. And so that's up under the course. There's a few other new courses also, if you want to check it out. And the other beautiful opportunity is that what we did today is a little bit of the core beliefs chapter of the Gula Wives book. And we are looking for support of dedications to get this book into everyone's hands, because it's my belief that it's really going to be a game changer. And I'd love to get it out. So if anyone has any dedications they want to make, they know anyone who wants to do it in merit of something, or thank you Hashem for something, or in memory of anyone, every dedication gets mentioned in the book. Seriously. And so we are actively looking for donations for that. The donate page is on the website. You can message us if you want to donate it differently. And if you know anyone who wants to sponsor a book, so just putting that out there. And I'm excited to send you guys the email one day soon. The book is ready. My belief is give me a year or shorter. Hashem can do anything. And was there any other announcements? Oh yes, if anyone is totally new to Gula Wives, come join the core program, which is the Gula Wives Circle, where we do amazing, fun, interactive workshops every single week and group coaching calls. And it's a space of vulnerability and authenticity. and just so safe and sweet, and just hanging out with other women who want to be in Geula in our marriages. And I know for me, Geula takes support. You know, I need support to live these beliefs and to see these truths, and it takes amazing women in my life to do that. So come and join us. It's $40 for a month, and the reason it's that price is we want to make it as inclusive and accessible as possible, because everyone deserves support. And if you do need a scholarship, those are available also, so reach out. And I did my announcements, yay! Okay, and what I'd love to do now is hey, welcome Bella, is I'm going to repost all the questions now in the chat. So in case anyone missed any of them, you will have them and you can copy them.